everyone, Tu here. It has been some time since my last upload to YouTube, as well as the video I've made of a voiceover. To be frank, I had no intention of uploading this video, nor to restart making video for a while. But as time passed and I have been homesick for a while, I decided to re-edit them for upload after almost a year has gone by. Now, these footages have been filmed since the beginning of this year. Let's relive some of the moments with me and see that memory is everlasting, shall we? The first video that I would like to explain is a video of me and my niece just going crazy because that day we decided to go exercise. However, the wind was blowing so crazy. Instead of exercising, we were just playing around and the wind was just so strong, guys. Going back home means I get to try all sorts of food that I didn't get the chance to in Korea, like this fusion food place that my friend took me to. She ended up paying for the meal as a return of a favor she had for me to participate in one of her music videos for her class. Instead of directly paying me for it, I told her it would be better to have the money be spent for a shared meal between us that we can both enjoy in Vietnam. The meal was worth waiting for. Afterwards, I and her spent the day together eating and going to a nearby cafe to catch up.
Xin chào mọi người, xem hôm nay tôi gặp ai này. Ôi, nhìn tao mày giống nhau thế. Giống không chứ. Hôm nay lại đi ăn. Lần nào mày xuất hiện, lần nào hợp ba xuất hiện cũng là chúng mình đi ăn với nhau.
Nhưng mà nếu mà ở Hà Nội và đi đâu thì tao chỉ biết là đi cà phê và đi ăn.
Tao cũng thế mà.
I think Ian and Young ended up spending an hour 30 minutes to 2 hour 30 minutes at that couch just purely yapping about anything that we could have think of. This is due to the fact that we usually don't hang out once we are in Korea due to the semester, both of us having really busy schedule. So once we do get the chance to, we really take our chances on just catching up. While yapping, we also thought about what to do next after the cafe, and we decided to become a tourist for a day. Our first stop has to be Kem Chang Tien, which is an ice cream that has been in many generations in Vietnam, and it's also our all-time favorite snack once we're back.
We are. What are we at? Where are we at? They increased the price. 17.000. Đó là cả chụp ảnh.
Because Kem Chang Tien was near the pedestrian street, so we decided to have a walk. While walking, there were many offers from photographers on the spot because this is a very touristy area, so they were asking us like, oh, do you guys want to take photos? And we just said why not, and this is the result of the photos. Not gonna lie, this guy, we low-key look like AI here. On a separate cafe meeting, I met with Nate. Nate and I have known each other since Singapore time, and I would say Nate is one of my best friends. And it kind of sucked that though we are best friends, we are so far away from each other. Because of that, every time when I do come back to Vietnam, I always make sure to book her in one of my schedule. If you guys haven't already known, Nate was also the same person that I surprised back in my YouTube channel, and this is also the same place that I surprised her at. It's one of our favorite cafe, and it's the cafe that is just something that is very ours. For dinner, Nate has booked us at a place called Home Eatery. The concept of the restaurant itself is more like a dining at home kind of vibe. So it's very cozy and it's very like little customer due to the spotting and also just for the vibe of it.
Xa Anh và đây là nước Trường Anh. Anh nào ai không biết. I'm so glad we got that caught on camera, but yeah. Nói chung là mình với Nết suy nghĩ rất giống nhau mọi người ạ, mình là hơi sợ. Mà Nết đã book được một chỗ. Cheers.
I remember that day I and Nate were both so hungry, and whatever food that came out, we just devoured it right then and there because we met up for a cafe pretty early on in the day, and then we talked for about 3 to 4 hours, and afterwards we talked more at dinner. And of course, in Vietnam, I got to eat my favorite dessert, which is chè. I think I ended up eating chè at least once every week when I was there. The next day, I met up with both of my friends from middle school named Chang, and we had bún bò Huế for lunch. Believe it or not, this was my first time trying bún bò Huế, even though I don't really like the flavor of it, but I do see myself currying it someday. And of course, the next thing that we did was to go to a cafe and just catch up and yap a lot. I think we ended up spending 3 to 4 hours at the cafe, even had to change our locations of sitting. In Vietnamese, we call it hong gió, so we really need some air outside, so that's why we chose a sitting that was outside. Then the following week, I and my friend Hương had a reading/working date sessions at another cafe. Hương and I both share the same interest of reading, so whenever we do have a new book we want to read, we will go together. And right in time when I was in town, my friend Chi, who I knew since the time that I spent in the United States, came to Hanoi. So of course, we hit each other up and we had a date. We took some pictures at a photo booth nearby, as well as eating one of the best brunch places in Hanoi that I ever had. Then we did a yapping sessions for the past 5 to 6 years of our life because we haven't seen each other for that long. So it was such a heartfelt, and also it was nice to see that I and her still share some similarity after all this year. Of course, going back home also means getting to spend time with family, and I do spend a lot of time with them. However, I don't have a lot of film footages of it. So here are some home-cooked meal that my grandmother had made, and they were all also delicious. We usually eat at hers as she make a lot of good food and variation, so it's like a buffet every time we go to hers. Lots of food, like I've said. On other days where less people come, she'll make something more simple. This is one of the aspects that I am the most grateful for being a study abroad student. You don't usually get meals like this when you're abroad. I'm not too sure when these clips were filmed, but I know the context of it. Basically, Nate showed us some very secretive things, and we react very strongly about. The group that I'm meeting with today are friends that I've met ever since Singapore, so we have known each other since about 2019 or 2020. So we went out to celebrate Nate's sister's birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Queen Mai. Yay, let's go. Yeah. Did you make a wish? Did you thank Beyonce?
One of the family trip that I went to was to Sabah with my cousin and a monk. Sabah is a very, very cold area, but where we live was up in the mountains, so it was extra, extra cold. It is known to be very foggy due to the low temperature, as you guys can see. It was quite an experience as our bed were hard as a rock. Not only that, the condition of living in the house was really, really cold. Though we were sleeping, the blanket was not enough, and we had to wear our puffer jacket, as well as I had to wear all of my layers of clothes without taking it off because it was so, so cold. Being far away from home with the harsh living conditions made me grateful for what it is that I have. Some people do choose to come here to this homestay to take away all the burden they have of the fast city life. We had to wait a while for the water to heat up, and even though it was supposed to heat up and you can see the utensil being like smoking hot, it was not smoking hot. It was quite cold. It's just that the conditions in the house is already so, so cold that even if you put a tiny bit of hot water, it doesn't need to be too hot, it will steam up. We only stayed there over a night, so this was our last meal at the homestay. Then we headed to the city for a massage, as well as I had my leg warmed, and then we head to the main area where I was able to eat the most fulfilling meal. Then we headed home. And after that trip, the very next morning, I headed out to go on another family camping trip. It was my first time camping with my aunt family, so I did not know what to expect, but apparently they really prepared everything. Like everything is being prepared. We had barbecue, we had tea, like just everything that you can think of. So it was really fun, first time camping, though it was cold, but it was fun. Honestly, I'm such an iPad kid. I carry my iPad everywhere, and I don't remember what it was I was playing. I think I was playing Field Runner, and then I was just also editing a few things and then eat a few things. My cousin, I think he fell asleep here. He ended up just falling asleep because he was so tired. And when it was dinner time, we headed to eat some barbecue, some cheese cube, I think, sausages, kimchi, lettuce, everything was really prepared for, and we were super, super hungry. Now here's the part that I found to be very scary. Basically, my aunt has booked me and my cousin a different room to sleep in due to the cold, and my aunt worrying about me and my cousin not being able to handle it. She has booked us a separate hotel near there. So this was our way back to the hotel, and there were so many dogs that was barking at every single house, and it was so dark. We were super, super scared if it wasn't for the two adults that was going with us. But we made it out alive, and the next morning I headed home. That night I and my brother had a little bit of study date together at home. I also tutored him a bit on his English because he was preparing for the high school entrance exam and he wanted to go to a specialized school in English. So I was also giving him tips on what to study and how to do the exam. Another activities that I usually do when I'm back home is pampering my grandmother. Well, she's quite old now and she cannot really wash her own hair, so I usually take her to the hair salon as well as cutting her nails, and just overall taking care of her makes me feel very happy. And another activities that my family from my father's side did was to take a family portrait. Family photos.
Trong tiếng Hàn là 안녕하세요.
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 안녕하세요. Bà chúc mừng năm mới ạ.